Hello everybody, Chris here, and in this video I'd like to show you some of the new features with Adobe Premiere 2017, starting with the new team project and open team project buttons. If you are working with other people on the same footage, the same video, you can actually share the files in one folder across different computers, different users who are working on the same project. So in that way, using team projects, you'll be able to orchestrate things better with any coworkers or anybody else who happens to be working on the same video with you. One of the things I'm already liking a lot about the new version is how you can set key bindings. So if we go to Edit in Keyboard Shortcuts or hit Control-Alt-K on the keyboard, it's going to pop up a giant keyboard where you can see all of the hotkeys that have been set for each function on your keyboard. So this is going to be more useful than just having the standard list, because you can actually visualize where everything is going to be. For instance, marking in and out on your clips, it's important that those two hotkeys are really close to each other, defaulting to I for in and O for out, obviously. But it's important so that you can easily work between those two functions. It's something you're probably going to do at the same time, so hitting mark in quickly followed by a mark out, it makes sense to have those two together. So by visualizing everything on your keyboard, you can kind of imagine how your fingers are going to fly across the keys to work more efficiently. So we can also add captions to our videos pretty easily by going to File, New, Captions. Put in some settings. I'm just going to leave everything as default. Automatically matches the width and height of the clip. Hit OK there. Captions will pop up in our project folder, and we can drag that into our video. Go to the Captions window, which you may need to add to your workspace by going to Window and then Captions. And now we can start typing in some information. So I'm going to just put hello. And maybe we'll hit the plus button to add another captions section. If any of these periods are too long, you can click and change the timing on them. And we'll just put a couple fives there. In the timeline, you can see the caption text previewing, basically before it even plays. Just on the timeline itself, it shows the text. But if we hit play, you'll notice it doesn't actually show any of the caption text. So in order to get that to pop up, we need to click on the button editor, move this into the toolbar if it's not already there, the closed captions display button, hit OK, and make sure we have that checked so that closed captions are now going to display. Alright, so right here you can see that it is allowing CEA 708 captions to play there. So this new caption that I created has that format. If we drag that on, we can see that it actually shows up just fine. And we can also center it if that's something we want. So I'll probably want to take more of a look at that later on to really get all of the details worked out. But that is a cool feature inside of CC 2017. You don't need an external program for captioning whatsoever. So in CC 2017, you have a new workspace and tab up here called Color, which allows you to grade the color of your film. Obviously, you can see here that you have quite a bit of control over it. If I just go and click some random color over here, you're going to see that it massively changes what's going on in the background. And you also have other controls, like the ability to blur it if that's something you're looking for. With color wheels, you can modify the color of midtones, shadows, and highlights all individually. So for instance, you'll see here it kind of changes the main color, kind of everything in this window and the Adobe Premiere window. But if I select a color over here, you can see that the highlights more affect this white instead. So by having control over those three colors, shadows as well, it allows you to get more precise color grading. But by having the ability to set midtones, highlights, and shadows individually, you can get a lot more control over the color in your image, kind of like you can in modern versions of Photoshop. The export settings window has gotten a few extra features. If we look into formats, I think there was a couple here that weren't there before. I don't recall seeing OpenEXR or Raptor DCP. I could be wrong about that. Definitely don't remember whatever this was. But more importantly, if we go under the Publish tab, you can see that there are several things we can upload to right as soon as we queue up and export this video. So Behance is one thing. Facebook, going to be useful for a lot of people. We can put it on an FTP server. Vimeo is also there, and YouTube as well. Honestly, YouTube might be the big one. Now, most of these were there before, but Behance is new. Not 100% sure about the others. Now, one of the other things that they've added to Adobe Premiere is the ability to import Adobe After Effects text templates straight inside of your Adobe Premiere project. So the advantage here is that you would be able to edit the text template without booting up After Effects and editing it there directly. Instead, you can change some of the settings on that template and use it straight inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so here I've saved the best one for last. One of the coolest things I think about the new version of Adobe Premiere Pro is that you can actually add in a bunch of new audio effects. And among those effects include adaptive noise reduction. So in most cases when I'm editing videos in Adobe Premiere, I would previously go to Audacity for this, the ability to remove a lot of the background noise. So here I'm going to play it without the effect, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it. I don't know if you can set it up. And now I'll add the adaptive noise reduction and play it again. I don't know. So hopefully you can hear it. It's not perfect, and you probably need to play around with the settings a little bit. Let's take a look at the custom settings. And yeah, that's actually really cool there. So you can set the decibel level and the noise floor level to get that to be perfect. But just by adding it into your clip, it does make a difference, and it removes a lot of the quiet white background noise. So there are also some other new ones here, like dynamic processing, and they've made some of the old effects obsolete. Not entirely sure what they all do yet, honestly, but I'll link to the main Adobe article on the new features so that you can go ahead and read up on that if you need more information. But for this video, I hope this gave you a good preview of CC 2017. I've been Chris, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my future video content.